good morning or good afternoon. It's actually good afternoon, but we're just going to say good morning because we're used to saying good morning when it's still daylight. Hi, happy Saturday. This is not my usual schedule, and that's okay. I did say that I would do random streams when I had the time and I had the energy, and I have the time and I definitely have the energy because what a week it's been. If you know, you know. If you don't, I can explain a little bit. But hello, how is everyone doing? How's your week been? We can do a weekly check in if you'd like, since it's still the week of. And I do have a tarot deck that I need to break in. How is everyone? How's it going? Yeah, we have our pink slush today. Yeah, Mercury retrograde sure went out with a bang. Should I talk about that a little bit? Just kind of vague posts since people like to vague post and vague yap and so I'll just say this for the very short and sweet, and I figured you weren't going to, but I'm gonna very short and sweet. I am down a mod, but that's okay. More than fine by me. And you know what? I might talk about it more if I find the words, but I don't want to give too much away because it's really nobody's business but mine. And actually, like, the sooner I put it out of my mind and don't think about it anymore, the happier I'll be. Because the more that I do talk about it in privacy with the people who know about it more privately, I realized just how much I was tolerating. And adaptation, like the heart of. Yeah! I mean, the Seven of Swords came out quite a bit this week, and I had a feeling it had something to do with that, but you know what? It's fine. I feel like there's some, yeah, emotional processing for sure. I, unfortunately, because I have a Cancer moon, we tend to, Cancer moons, we tend to sponge everybody's shit and just feel everybody's problems and really like, I'm so sorry to hear that, because we genuinely are sorry to hear that. We soak up everybody's emotions too with it, and then when they're gone from our lives, we just have to. Who's squeezing us out? Don't say that. Don't. But you know what I mean. Who's helping us just release all of that? Who's squeezing us out? Anyways, what a poor choice of words, all things considered. Elsie, expect more emotional audios from me later. Yeah, X-Lax. Emotional X-Lax. I mean, the thing is, I'm a Virgo stellium too, so Virgo rules, like, Cancer rules the stomach. So when I get stressed out and emotional, it's all in my stomach area and my intestines. And I'm a Virgo, so when I feel really anxious and upset, it's gone out the door, but in the bathroom. It's gone. And no one needs to hear that. That's TMI. I realize that, but that's literally how the astrology works. Yeah, we love shit jokes. We love it. Yeah, emotional processing is really tough. Especially, I know where your moon falls. I'm not going to say on camera, but I know where your moon falls, and I feel for you, and I will be doing a prayer over you if you'd like me to. Yeah, so let's talk about things that don't have to do with shitty people. I got a new tarot deck, and I am so freaking excited about it for several reasons. One, I like collecting tarot decks just because the art is always beautiful. One of my favorite decks that I got just because it was beautiful was the Tarot of the Divine by Yoshitani. If you do not have this deck, this isn't the new one. This is one I've had for a while, and it was the last deck that I got really excited about. Unfortunately, I like new tarot decks and I like the art. I appreciate all art in all forms. But this one was the last time I got really excited about a tarot deck. My only complaint about it is the cardstock is slightly too chunky for me, and I have itty bitty hands. So that's kind of a problem. I also really like the Gentle Thrills Tarot, also not the new deck. I love this deck because I left mine at my grandparents'. Oh no! Go back. I like this one as well because it reminds me of like the early 90s. You know what I'm talking about? Like early 90s kind of art. Kind of like whimsigoth, kind of like, you know, just that form of like, I don't know how to explain it, but I feel like most of us will understand what I'm talking about because most of us are either 90s babies or were around during the 90s to know what the fuck I'm talking about. So much whimsy, yes. Yeah, hair, you know what, you get me. Okay, so a couple things before I begin. It is Saturday, so everybody in my house is home. And even though they're not home right now, they're going to come home shortly, and they are moving some furniture around in the next room, so it might get a little noisy on this side where the microphone is actually sitting. We also have my fan on. You probably can hear something in the background. It is... How hot is it right now? Let me check the weather. It's 79 degrees, which is actually not too bad for California, but not ideal. It's not ideal. So we're just gonna say that it's gonna be a bit of a noisy stream. So if you needed background noise, whether it's talking, ambience of living at a home, people talking in the background, people yelling in the background, you're definitely gonna get that this stream. I don't know how long I'm streaming for. I said quick stream, but then I know how I am. I tend to start yapping, and the 70s are dominating today. Other than that, other than it being noisy, other than that, I am in a very good mood. I'm happy because I have support and I have love from different people from 67, 670. Um, it's a lot of love and support that no matter what's going on in my life, I know I can talk it out with the people that are around me. I know they'll empathize, or they'll be there for me, and I will do my best to be there for them. I love you too, Pisces. Um, so yeah, the number must be 7, but that is the Chariot card. So a couple things. I don't mind doing tarot readings today if you'd like to pay for or redeem through channel points. However, this is not a threat, I'm just putting this away. Uh, however, you don't have to. I mostly was like, I got this deck, I want to show it off before Monday, because Monday I'd like to just get through the messages, right? Just take up the hour getting through the messages. If I take up time yapping about the new deck that I got, we're gonna run over time and we won't get into Final Fantasy X, and I'd like to keep things on schedule as much as possible. This stream was not scheduled, so we can just yap and hang out and talk about things. Now, since I'm not doing readings right now, if you'd like to talk about whatever, you're welcome to do so. But if I do want to start doing readings, as always, please keep in mind the readings are gonna have to be what we talk about during reading time. But I'd like to switch over and show you my deck shortly. I just want to be sure I've said everything I need to. I think I've said everything I need to. You could listen to me yap at anything. That's going to go right to my head. Thank you very much. Because I really could. Give me a subject. I'll find something to talk about. I will find something to talk about. But I'm the same with you as well, Pisces. If you want to just yap on stream, you're welcome to do that. Okay, so... here's a topic that doesn't have to do with tarot or anything that we really, well, we know the topic, but it's not to do with tarot or astrology or spirituality in general or games. Has anyone come across the cherry bomb Alani? Because the stores near me don't have it anymore, and it's not a limited time anymore. I haven't seen it in like a month or two. Like haven't really seen it since like January. And I found that really fascinating because it was everywhere all the time. And now all you see is lime. And I'm not complaining. I love the lime, but where's the cherry bomb? It just kind of up and disappeared. You haven't seen it since you got a bunch of... Yeah, it's kind of been about that amount of time for me as well. Like I say January, but I don't remember the exact time. I just know it's been a little bit since I've had any. Five Below has Alani? I just spit everywhere because I was so surprised. That's okay. Just so you know, if you guys ever meet me in person, I have a spitting problem when I get excited. I blame my teeth and how they're structured. Sometimes I'll be telling Luna something, I'm really excited, and she's like, "That's great, honey, but you just spit all over me." I'm like, "I'm sorry, I got excited." Oh, really? Okay, I'm gonna have to check out the Five Belows because there are Five Belows. Oh my god. I found this really, really cool artist who does Final Fantasy 14 characters as tarot cards. And I'd love to share it in the tarot art section of my Discord. But there are spoiler characters in it and spoiler outfits for characters. So I'm going to have to choose wisely who I put in there. Because I don't know who's played 14 in my server and how far they got. Well, I know for some people, but not everybody. Which one was Estinian? Estinian got the Justice card. I can see that. He can bring me justice anytime. I don't know what that means. I don't know why I said that. You've never played 14, Mrs. Popoto Head? You've never played 14, Mrs. Popoto Head? Really? Xenos as the devil card. Yeah, that makes sense. Aaronville as... Is that the Lovers? You know what? I can see it. I do love him. He's the only bun boy I trust right now. JK, I'm sure there's other good bun boys. Alright, so... that Xenos twerk will live forever. Even if Xenos didn't. JK. Oh, Ardbert's the Magician. I'm trying to find one that isn't a spoiler. Even the one that's the Hanged Man. Even there's the one that's the Hanged Man is technically a spoiler character if you've never played 14. Like, there's no early game 14 characters here. Oh, there's Star Rail characters in here. What? Sorry, this was not meant to be what stream's about. I'm just scrolling through. Yeah, that's true. But there's, I forgot what the birds were called. Shame on me. I really gotta replay Shadowbringers. If I'm still streaming after I talk about this deck, I might play some 14 and just play on my Lalafell. So, because of recent events, I had to leave the FC that I was in. And I also moved servers because I moved data centers because I mentally could not do it. And the second I moved, Bun Boys everywhere. But, you know, it is what it is. Bun Boys are great. I love Bun Boys. I'm just like, damn, that one first time experience had to be a fucking stereotype. But anyways, love this artist. I think I'll just go ahead and share Estinian. Because no one's going to really recognize him anyway, either way. Like, even if you've met Estinian already, but you haven't seen him without his helmet, you're going to be like, huh? Who's that? At least, some people are like, who is that? Generic Dragoon, exactly. So I'll go ahead and share that in my tarot art Discord. To be honest with you, if I had seen Estinian, I'd been like, oh, pretty man with long white hair and armor, hells to the yeah. And then met him with the helmet on and been like, ooh, helmeted armored man. This game's got all kinds of armored dudes. And then when it was revealed it was him, I'd have been like, 2-for-1 deal. You know what I mean? Like, anyways. What's that one Dragoon skill? Full thrust? Fictional men can never hurt you. Let's see. I feel like there was like one more thing I want to talk about. Yeah, you, me, same page. You, me, who would have thought? It's kind of crazy too, because when I started being mutuals with you on TikTok and I saw you playing Baldur's Gate, and I think it was called Oathbreaker, and how you were about armored men, I'm like, ooh, I have a game they'll like. And then you started playing 14, I was like, oh, let me not say anything. I don't want to spoil it for them. Because that's definitely not something you want to spoil for anybody. Okay, so real quick, yeah, I saw the future. Like, I like that I was right, but I also have been right about other things as far as, like, not to brag, but I have been right about a couple other things about the game for you, so I'm curious how things will play out, and I'll just leave it at that. Okay, so I'm gonna real quick before we get into it. I'm not gonna switch pages, you're just gonna see my face, but I do want to talk about the astrology right now, because we currently have the Sun in Aries. Welcome to Aries season, officially. As of Friday, we are now officially in Aries season. Set yesterday. It's currently Moon in Taurus, but we're still under the new moon energy. So, I think this is a perfect time to rest, eat good food, and chill out and enjoy yourself. So anything you find enjoyable, pleasurable, do it. Anything that's comfortable to you, just things that you want to be doing, do them. Hi, Florine. How are you? We were just talking about stuff and things. Not a lot. Hi, Florine. Yeah, so the moon is in Taurus. We're still under new moon energy, even though it's not in the same sign. So moon in Taurus is basically eat good food, chill out, don't stress about anything. I cannot emphasize enough, eat good food. Taurus rules the throat, but it also has to do with food. If you know any Taurus placements who are picky eaters, they're not Taurus placements. They're liars. I'm kidding. But we're just going to say for now, it is square Pluto. So it does still feel chaotic with that new moon energy. There is a lot kind of happening in the sky. The sun is conjunct, not Venus. The sun's conjunct Saturn and Neptune right now. It's actually exact Neptune. So what does that mean? Life is not going to feel a little bit real for a while. Oh, Venus is conjunct Chiron right now. Take it easy. If you want to do any journaling and just figuring out how you're feeling right now, please do that. If you are preparing for anything under this new moon, we also have an Aries new moon, April 17th. If you're trying to manifest, I would say do it then, not now. Take this time to rest because we are still in eclipse energy. And we still have the Mercury retrograde shadow period. Mercury retrograde ended on Thursday, but we still have the shadow period. And isn't that a crazy thing to have? People don't talk about that. They'll say, oh, it's not Mercury retrograde anymore. We still have the shadow period. And I'm going to tell you right now, shadow periods have been sometimes more violent than, more aggressive than the actual Mercury retrograde. So just take it easy. Don't stress. If you have stress, find a way to cope. A healthy way to cope. Eat good food. I cannot emphasize that. Eat good food. Drink water. Relax. That's about it. I'm going to switch over. We're going to talk about tarot, but you're welcome to talk about other things while we're talking about tarot, because this is not reading time. This is, I want to show off my new deck because I just got it and I'm really excited. Okay, let's go. We'll probably be hitting an ad break in a minute because I've been yapping that long. So feel free to just... Why is my camera being a fucking bitch right now? Streamer scuff, womp womp. So this is Todd Alcott's Sci-fi Tarot. It is actually, the full name of it is the Unemployed Philosophers Guild Sci-fi Tarot by Todd Alcott. It's a whole mouthful, that's what she said. I just want to call it the Sci-fi Tarot. Two things I'm going to say before I get into it. I love the aesthetic in this tarot deck. I don't know anything about, like, if it's iffy in any way. So let's just enjoy it, ooh and ah, and not worry about too much, because I do have some commentary on one of the cards. Just one. But you'll know when we get into it. The first thing I want to say about this deck is not just how cool it is that it's a sci-fi tarot, but that it comes in a book. Like, it looks like a research book, right? It has this wear and tear kind of look to it. That's part of it. It came like that. It's supposed to be looking like, it's been on a journey. That's a preview of some of the cards, but we'll get into that when we actually see them. Let's go ahead and just open it. So we have the book right here. I love the book. I'm going to talk about the book first, actually, because when you open it, it's literally the bot on the front cover. He's looking at one of the tarot cards right now. Like, that's what they look like. They have that backing, if you see right here. It's the same aesthetic. But in this, like, pamphlet, he actually, like, wrote it. It's like a fictional, like... He says, first, let me say that it is an honor to submit this report to the Grand High Intelligence. I have been collecting, sorting, collating, and cross-referencing data relating to the earthling creatures known as humans for my entire existence as a program. This is, however, the first time I have been called upon by the Central Hive Council to contribute to their records. This opportunity means a great deal to me. It has been 10,000 years since human civilization vanished from the known universe. The galactic hive mind still does not have a full accounting of the organisms who once dominated the planet Earth. He goes on to basically talk about his research on humans and how it included the tarot. And how the tarot was used for divining purposes, because the humans were often confused about their future or what they were doing in their current time. So he's literally describing what tarot is used for. We do have an ad break in 5 minutes. Oh my god, I fucking knew it. Okay, we're gonna set that to the side. We're gonna open this. I like that it has the pull tab. All decks that come in boxes like this should have a pull tab. If they don't have a pull tab, like a proper thing to get the cards out, what are we doing? Okay, so the back of the cards looks like this. I also really like the thing right here. The ancient artifact has a number on Sci-fi Tarot, circa 2024. If found, please return to, and then it's the bot's name. It's his name. I think that's just really cool. They made like a fictional spin on how tarot was written. And I love like sci-fi and fiction in general. So we're going to go ahead and look at the cards one by one, kind of talk about the meanings and stuff like that, how it reflects back into the tarot itself. But we do have the ad break coming, so I probably will keep talking through it. So, Zoid's Chaotic Sentry. Really, I don't know what that is, but I'll look that up later. So yeah, the backs look like this, which is nice because when you flip it around, you don't really notice that it's reversed. And I prefer that. I don't want to know that my cards are in reverse or upright position when when you shuffle the cards out, you're going to see them like this sometimes, or like this. you're not going to want to know if it's upright or reverse right away. You want that surprise element that comes to your intuition. So we're going to go ahead and go through it. I have already shuffled this deck multiple times. I did readings for myself. So what you're going to see is the cards out of a specific order. So you're just going to see whatever cards on the top of the deck. I don't know what cards on the top of the deck. I don't know what's on the bottom. I know what's on the very bottom, but I don't know what's like at the very top layers. So we're going to go through this together. And we're going to talk about the meanings one by one. Now, it's not going to be the entire deck. I don't feel like going through the entire deck, but I'm going to pull up my highlights, the ones that I like the most. We'll sit and talk about them, and we'll go from there. We do have the ad break in 2 minutes, so I'm like, timing. Anyways, let's go ahead and get started. What card is this? The Fool. Actually, what a great place to start is the Fool. That is potentially so cool. And I say potentially so cool because this was the first card I saw in the entire deck, because when I received it in the mail, it was on the bottom. And I don't usually memorize like the order. I usually, when I reset my decks, I do all the major arcana in order. I do all the pentacles and the wands and the swords in their specific order. But then what I do is I pilot wands, swords, cups, and then pentacles, and then all the major arcana on the bottom with the world on the bottom. But that doesn't necessarily fit every deck, because this deck was all the major arcana from the bottom down. So the world, and then the suit of wands, and the suit of swords, and the suit of cups, then the suit of pentacles. So it really just depends on the deck. Everybody does it differently. In some decks, the Justice card is number 8 and the Strength is number 11. So that's why sometimes you see them as 8 or 11. So I think in my Lost Hollows Tarot, there's dupes of the Justice and the Strength card for that reason. Okay, so this is the Fool card in Todd Alcott's Sci-fi Tarot. And my favorite thing about it is that it is not only that it's that science fiction like kind of movie poster, a step into the unknown. Is it genius or suicide? Like, it looks like a movie poster, but it absolutely references the Fool card, right? Because this person's stepping out into space with no suit on. Like, it's ridiculous. It's a little ridiculous. You know, it's kind of stupid, if I'm being honest with you. And that's a pretty good description of the Fool card. Let me pull up the actual Fool card and get, like, comparisons side by side. I think that would be a good idea. So we have the ad break right now. I could keep going, but let's go ahead and look for that Fool card while there's an ad break. I totally planned this. I didn't. I was just so excited to be like, I need to show off the deck before Monday, because if I get into it on Monday, we won't have time for Final Fantasy. And I guess it really doesn't matter because, it really doesn't, but to me it does. And I'm the important one here. I'm the one doing the readings. I'm kidding. Everyone's important here. So I'm going to stick that there since I found it. I love when tarot decks actually do, like, really good art calling back to the original card, but also it's art that makes sense for the deck that it's in. I don't want to sit here and assume that every deck that I'm ever going to have is going to be a bad reference, because I'll at least know what the cards are saying because I read tarot. But if I were to recommend this deck to someone who's reading tarot for the first time, I feel like it would be a good lesson or a good learning curve for them. But I don't know if I would recommend it as a first timer. Welcome back from your ads. What ads did you guys get? Please tell me. I would love to know. Okay, so we're back from ads according to Twitch. So we're back from ads according to Twitch. We are gonna get back into this, but I do want to say, just kind of like openly, that this isn't like meant to be like, let's teach tarot. This is more like, I want to just kind of compare and contrast. Like, this is identical to me. To me, this is showing the risk that the Fool is taking. It's showing me that he's not paying attention to what's around him. He's not paying attention to what's correct or the right way to do things. He's just doing whatever the fuck he wants, right? His goals are not supported by his understanding of the weight of the responsibility, and that is kind of the Fool card. And I do think that there is a bit of element of surprise, because the Fool card does represent surprises as well. So it's saying, like, it having that movie like byline to it, that feature of the byline is really cool, because it's not only helping you understand the card, but it's making it look like a film title, which I like movies. I like old sci-fi film stuff. Like, I love everything about this deck. I don't think I have anything I could say about this deck. There is one card, like I mentioned earlier, that I was a bit like, okay, I understand where they were going with it, but it's a tiny bit on the iffy side for me. Just for one small tiny reason, but I'm not gonna be that white person who makes a big deal out of it. I just want to be aware of it. You know what I mean? Okay, so let's continue. So the next card we have is literally the card I was gonna bring up when it showed up, and good, it's happening now. So here's the thing. Queen of Pentacles. The Queen of Pentacles is Battlestar Galactica. Yeah, I loved old school Battlestar. I like the newer one that they put out years ago, but classics are always going to do it for me. So, the Queen of Pentacles is... I'll go back in the deck and find it. The earth element in the Queen of Pentacles is important to note, but it's not about it being earthy. Pentacles represent all of the elements. And because they represent all of the elements, I feel like it's important to consider Pentacles as a structure of everything that has come before us. So I understand that they used the Secrets of the Pharaoh's Ancient Aliens as sort of like a tie-in with sci-fi, a tie-in with how everything that we've known before us when it comes to like ancient Egyptian like mythology and Kemeticism, all that. I don't think it's a tie-in to Kemeticism at all, but I don't really appreciate the fact that it's talking about the pharaohs being ancient aliens. I think it's a little bit disrespectful to kind of go back and say like, oh, well, we don't understand how these things worked. Obviously, it was aliens. I don't really fuck with that much, because there are a lot of like iffy things being said in that regard, but I'm not going to outright say if it's a racist thing or if it's like, because I don't know. I'm not educated enough to know for sure where the stance is on that. I'm going to do some research because, again, I just got this deck yesterday. I'm going to do some research, figure out where I really stand with this card. I don't think that who made this deck really had an ill intent because, again, there has been quite a lot of speculation of aliens. And also, if you've watched Stargate, like I did growing up, Stargate, any of the Stargates, they do kind of call back to that whole, like, you know, ancient Egyptians, did they deal with aliens, like, aliens helping them build the pyramids, for what reason, and all that. So, I'm not going to get into it because it's not my place to, but I am aware of how that could look or how that might come off. So, I'm just going to, like, leave it at that. But I do really appreciate, there she is. I do appreciate sort of the call in, not really call back, but call in of the way the pentacles represent all of our earthly ventures. And, like, look how, like, it's so hot that my brain is melting. It's the belief of the Queen of Pentacles, because Pentacles represent earth energy, but they represent so much more than just simply the earth signs. They're not just, you know, oh, it's a Virgo card, it's a Capricorn card, it's a Taurus card. It's about understanding that everything that we've done, everything that comes before, it's very generational. And when you start thinking about generational energies and generational concepts, you're understanding the Queen of Pentacles is talking about like the women who came before you. And what better way to represent that than the Queen of Pentacles being a reference to ancient Egypt? Because ancient Egyptians, holy shit, you know? Hi, welcome, Okami. I'm showing off the new deck that I got. I was a little too excited to wait for Monday. So, we good. Alright, so let's continue on. The next card, I love it. The next card is actually the Ace of Wands. And the Ace of Wands, let's see if I can find it in the original tarot. The Ace of Wands, I love that it's just the wand. It's not giving you any sort of like reference to what it could be saying, and that's kind of the whole point of the aces in tarot. The aces in tarot are not meant to like point to like specifics. Like this is the Ace of Swords, but like all you know is that you're getting a sword. You don't know what to do with it. And that is literally how the swords and the wands and the cups and the pentacles work. When you receive a gift, you receive some sort of honor, some sort of blessing, some sort of like new idea. This is, to me, the wands are like new inspiration. They can also be pointing towards, and let's not get too inappropriate after I say this, it can be a reference to sexuality and like kind of like divining through creativity. And I'll just leave it at that. See, even with the Ace of Cups, like we're dealing with just what it is, and we make of it what we will through the process of that suit. So the Two of Wands is us trying to understand what to do with the wand that we just received. So it's really cool that these cards are allowing us to kind of take a peek into the original Rider-Waite without being too heavy-handed of the original Rider-Waite. It's still calling into the new art style through. See, we have the Nine of Wands in this one. And if you can't tell that it's the number 9, because for me I can tell right away because I know what the Nine of Wands looks like. The barriers between us, it says card number 9 up here. It's really nice because it is showing the defensiveness that you see in the Nine of Wands, but also like it's an understanding with the barriers between us that sometimes the barriers that you put up between you and other people you think are necessary might not necessarily be necessary. So it's, again, it's a cool callback to the original. The Ten of Wands there, showing the burden that this person's carrying. It's actually a statue, which I find really interesting. I'm actually going to pull from the bottom of the Six of Cups. Children playing, which is, again, a good callback to the original. The Seven of Wands. This reminded me of Mars Attacks, and I absolutely love how goofy and silly Mars Attacks is. It says, cornered by a slithering horde on the aeon-old plains of Narthon. Does she have a secret weapon? Like, it's really cool because it calls back to these original cards. We have the Tower. Temperance was really interesting to me because Temperance is Archangel Michael. So it's automatically going to have a theme of power and protection. So finding life's balance here on the bottom. I don't know if it's necessarily all that Temperance is. Temperance is definitely about finding life's balance, but I feel like it's also about emotional regulation because it's got the cups. This person's kind of like, oh, it's Archangel Michael. Why do I keep saying this person? Archangel Michael sort of like balancing the emotions, balancing the waters. And also in the original Rider-Waite, he's got 1 foot on land and 1 foot in the water. So he's understandably grounding himself in both his emotions and, you know, he's taking his time. And so I feel like with this energy here, we're dealing with someone who's like half human, half robot, right? But we're also understanding it from the perspective that it was built this way. You know, and I think with Temperance, you understanding that what you're dealing with and what you're regulating cannot be done alone, you know? And so it does kind of do a nice callback to Temperance, but in its own unique way. The Seven of Pentacles. I like the Ace of Pentacles so much in this deck, because look at them running away from the spaceship, but the spaceship has like a pentacle on it, so I think that's just really awesome. I like how it's showing like the aliens coming in and people are freaking out. I don't think that's really a good callback to the Ace of Pentacles. I don't think that's like the perfect description of the Ace of Pentacles, but I do understand that from a sci-fi perspective it does have to, especially because pentacles again have to do with like generational things, big changes in our like big changes in how we understand the world around us, you know what I mean? I also think it's going to be perfect for the nodes switch to Aquarius, because Aquarius rules aliens. So this is going to be a nice callback to that when we get there. The Lovers. Yeah, it looks so like, I just love this deck so much. The Lovers, and I'm going to take a break right there. The Lovers. The Lovers is so good. For obvious reasons. Their passion brought war to the galaxy. Very Romeo and Juliet kind of theme. But The Lovers is actually not really Romeo and Juliet thematically. It's just, I think, understanding, right? Like, I think it's just an understanding that love is supposed to, yeah, monster overrun. Love is not supposed to be defined by what society wants. Love is not supposed to be I can't talk today. Love is not supposed to be defined by any one thing other than the effort between those two people, the divine love between two people, and other people don't have to understand what you've got going on. You don't have to be understood by other people. You just have to have that love and experience that love. It's right here staring at me, and I'm just... The thing about the original Lovers is it's a depiction of Archangel Michael, but also, or I think it's a different Archangel, actually. I'll get back to you on that. But it is supposed to be kind of a depiction of Adam and Eve, right? And I don't agree that Adam and Eve is, like, the greatest love story, because even from, like, a Christian standpoint, like, there was a lot of sacrifice. And maybe that's not, like... It's not me saying that that's not what love can be, because love can be sacrifice. But I think that everyone's discernment of what sacrifice looks like is going to be different. And so it does kind of call back to that in the sense that, like, there is sacrifice to be seen in this concept. But I think that it's a very different definition of sacrifice. And it's going to look different depending on the relationship. So you really have to know what divine love looks like for you, because The Lovers is supposed to be a depiction of divine love. But it's also, I think, to be honest with you, sometimes divine love is, I wouldn't say it's overrated. It's not. I think what it is that I think people have such a predetermined definition of divine love that they end up kind of missing the point. And so they end up idealizing it and assuming that love is supposed to be on a silver platter and just handed to them. I think that's another thing that this card encapsulates a little bit better than the original Lovers in the Rider-Waite deck, because this is not saying that love does not come without sacrifice, but it's the knowing of that sacrifice and what it means to you to pursue this love. Because this isn't going to hit the same for everybody as much as this might. This is a little bit more of an understandable, I wouldn't say it's a real world understanding, but I think it's a little bit better understood. Just IMO. Okay, let's keep going. King of Cups. If you know, you know. This is one of my favorite cards. Hell yeah, King of Cups. So, I kind of, like, love the King of Cups, because he's kind of been my favorite card. He's been around for a while. If you know, you know. Here he is. So let's kind of talk about this card from this angle, because the thing about the kings and queens... Okay, so here's how I see the court cards in tarot. When you have the pages are, I understand everything in this suit, but I'm still a little wet behind the ears because I'm still a page. I'm not being paid to do this. I'm still learning how to utilize this skill, this idea, this feeling, right? And then you get into the Knight of Cups. The Knight of Cups knows enough to be able to help other people, has a little bit more stability to be able to help themselves, has a little bit more responsibility to be able to help others and help themselves. The Queen and King, and I'm going to say this pretty point blank, it's going to sound very like... I don't like to bring gendered concepts into tarot because I think gendered concepts are already such a huge and unnecessary part of spirituality. But we're just going to say, for the sake of the court cards, when you look into monarchy and like kings and queens and like how kingdoms were run, queens dealt with internal affairs of the kingdom, especially of, you know, how everything was working with their employees, with themselves, making sure everybody was taken care of. The kings were planning things. They were going out in the world. And so I like to see this as the version of you that is the King of Cups is the version of you that is expressing those emotions out there, knows what to do with that love, knows what to do with that information. And so Master of his own heart is very accurate for this. But I think that for the art, I was a little bit thrown. I noticed that he's an inventor. He's very passionate about creativity. And what is love if not invention? What is love if not creation? So I think that's perfect, but I also would understand if somebody saw this card and went, what the fuck is this trying to say? So again, I would not recommend this deck to someone who is trying to learn tarot, but I wouldn't even recommend the original Rider-Waite, because how are you supposed to know what this means just by looking at it? Okay, so let's take a quick break to just kind of chill and discuss. What do we like so far? Is there any card that stuck out for you personally? I forgot to put my liquid IV in, so I'm going to do that while we're yapping. My favorite card in this entire deck we haven't even got to yet. So I am excited to get to that and show it to you all. Ooh, your personal card is death. Like your birth card? So my birth card is actually Death or Emperor. The first one was the Fool, and the green wand was the Ace of Wands. But I also really like those. So yeah, if you want to know your birth card, you just add up the numbers of your birthday and birth year. And it's usually the same card. It's usually the same number as your life path number. I'm a life path 4, or 13 or 4, so Death or the Emperor. The one I literally feel a calling to. Oh, the core of your beliefs, yeah. That's awesome. It's a very Scorpio energy. I really love Scorpio energy as well, so that's really cool. $17 and $6. $17 is the star, 6 is... Oh, so that's your birthday. So, like, if you add up... So, if you add 1 and 7 plus 6, and then the year you're born, all is one either single or double digit number. I usually just take if it's a double digit, I usually just take the double digits and add it together. Like when I did my math, it was 13, but that's a 4. But also, I love Gemini, so hi. I like all the beautiful signs. We're all cool. Okay, so I'm going to continue. Feel free to talk about whatever while I'm going through it. Let's see what the next card is. It's another wand card, the 8 of Wands. Death and Emperor, those are mine. Hi. Hi, twin. Those are mine too. So the 8 of Wands. I love this card in this deck. I love all of the cards in this entire deck. But this one has to be one of my favorites. Because look how crazy this is. Death or Emperor. We can't all be the Death and Emperor. But hey, I mean, more twinning. I'm finding my people. It's okay. So the 8 of Wands, let me pull it up in the original Rider-Waite. So you know just how funny this deck is to me. So it's very cool, right? Changes in the air. An exciting adventure into the unknown. I love that. I just love like these old pop art of it's just so good. I'm getting to it. I really like old school, like 50s pop art and movie art, and also just like, I love sci-fi, and I love that it's a perfect callback to the tarot, so I can actually use it in my readings. I'm so excited. And the thing about reading tarot is, the best way to read tarot is to find a deck you get really excited about, even if it's not like the perfect description of the cards. Oh, thank you. It says Star Wars. That'd be perfect for today. Yeah, I put it on. I was like, it's a sci-fi day today. It's sci-fi only. So this is the original 8 of Wands art for the Rider-Waite Tarot. And when I say Rider-Waite is the OG. Like, that's where all you see tarot decks come from, is the original Rider-Waite. And the 8 of Wands, you don't really get like a good impression of what this is saying. It's just 8 wands. What could that be? We do have an ad starting in 5 minutes. I probably will go take a break and just kind of rest my voice for a little bit. But yeah, like the 8 of Wands is not really giving you much. It's not really telling you much of anything about what it means. It just shows a lot is happening. It could be confused as a ladder or as lightning bolts. I have a deck that actually the 8 of Wands is lightning bolts. And so it does give a little bit better of a description, but not quite. But this is like changes in the air. And all these wands are coming down, and it's like lasers coming down. It's invasion, but also like the thing about the wands is that they do refer to like passion and integrity. So I do feel like there is something to be said about it kind of calling back to that. But there is no perfect way of describing the tarot in every single deck. Every deck is going to take its own spin on it, but I think this is a pretty clean and good way of describing the 8 of Wands. So I'm just very, very happy with it. The next cards we have are the Wheel of Fortune. I thought of Deep Space Nine. If you've watched Star Trek Deep Space Nine, you know what I'm talking about. If you did not watch it, you should. People will be like, this is the best Star Trek, and this is the best. They're all good. There is no bad Star Trek. Even the bad one's kind of good. That's the original Wheel of Fortune. I knew you'd like this one, Pisces. Okay, so it says, where it stops, no one knows. And that is literally the Wheel of Fortune. It's literally talking about the gamble that is life. When you set on your journey, you don't know where you're going. You know things are going to change for you. Fortune can look different for everybody. Wheel of Fortune, a reject vibe. That's interesting. I think I can understand where you're coming from with that too, because like it's not that the Wheel of Fortune's saying that you absolutely are getting rejected, it's saying that things are gonna change. So even if you say like, hey, am I gonna get this job, and you get the Wheel of Fortune, like you could, but something about the job might not be aligned with you, and you might realize that getting the job was the aligned part, but it's also in alignment even if you don't like it. Oh, your whole being rejects it. Well, that's something you're going to have to reflect on, because usually when it comes with tarot, whatever reaction you're having to the card says something about your internalized beliefs. So I'm not here to like call you out on anything, by the way. I do understand where you're coming from, because I think that a lot of the times when we read tarot, like for example, the Five of Pentacles, I used to turn my nose up at this card every time I pulled it for myself. But really, what it's saying is that I have insecurities that I need to deal with. And maybe for the Wheel of Fortune, there's a concept within it that is teaching you something about yourself. Okay, so Wheel of Fortune, though, where it stops, no one knows. That's very true for the original Rider-Waite. I think though, like what's interesting is like it's showing the planets, it's showing the galaxies, so it does kind of refer to the idea that yes, we are moving through time, and we are moving through space, we are moving through change, but change is, I wouldn't say it's subjective. I would say change is really just, it's only relevant to being good if you see it as good. So if something, and I'm gonna pull from what you're saying, Okami, but I'm gonna kind of like utilize it in what I'm saying. So I'm not saying this is what you were saying, I'm saying this is what I'm saying using the idea of rejection. If you do feel a rejection in the energy, maybe that's a sign for you that what is happening through this energy, even though it is changing, it's teaching you that that change is not aligned for you, because this does have to do with change. Because change, the thing is that change is always aligned for us, but the changes that are showing alignment are still, even if they're misaligned, they're still in alignment because they're showing you that something isn't for you. So it's like rejection is just divine redirection. So if you feel rejected by something, you're not rejected, you're just being redirected. And I think that's a part of the Wheel of Fortune as well. So we do have the ad break coming. I am actually going to take a quick break, and we'll come back and we will look at more tarot cards. All right, be right back. Are we back? I think we're back. Maybe. I'll give it a minute. Oh, we are back. Okay. I was like, it doesn't tell you when we're back officially, and I hate that because I'm like, is there a plug-in? Let me know. Okay. I'm gonna catch up with chat before we continue. I'm really liking it. I'm glad you like it. I'll probably be playing 14 later, so maybe if I'm playing anything at all. I find divination extremely fascinating. I'm not the kind of person that takes it as a set in stone thing, but I like to use it to reflect on possibilities and, how to put it, suggestions to improve or reach my goals. So, first of all, thank you for welcome back. I hope you got good ads. I'm just gonna say pretty point blank that tarot and divination in general is never set in stone. If anyone tells you something is set completely in stone, they're full of shit. Energy is always changing. If you get a tarot reading from me, or you do it yourself, whatever you are learning or understanding about yourself and or the world around you based on your reading, whether it is your reading, I gave you the reading, someone else gave you, any sort of like sign you get from the universe, whatever you're learning from it, whatever mindset you get might actively change the course of what is happening. And that is kind of coming back into the Wheel of Fortune. Things are supposed to change. And if your mindset changes and thus everything around you starts to change and you feel like life is rejecting you or you feel like something is shifting, it's for your better alignment. So nothing is set in stone, but they are suggestions. So you aren't supposed to like look at it as a permanent anyway. It's literally just to like kind of affirm to yourself that things are shifting to I like to see tarot readings as like comfort. So like if I'm needing some sort of comfort in my life and I'm like, okay, so is there a message for me? And my guides are like, you're doing fine, don't worry about it. I'm like, well, I'm obviously worried about it. It's teaching me to get more confidence in myself or to be more believing in myself of what is happening around me is meant for my benefit and not for my stagnation, as I'm pulling for Elsie's chat. So let's kind of keep going. But yeah, the thing about tarot is there's a lot of readers who are like, oh, like, I know what's going to happen next in your life. And it's like, no, not really. I mean, you can pull some cards and your intuition can be super, super good. And your ability to predict things can be really perfect and maybe even on point. But it doesn't mean that you know everything. I've done, like, prediction readings for the year ahead, and I've had people tell me everything came true, which just kind of tells me that this person was not learning from their experiences. You know? I have to tell everybody who gets a prediction reading, like, a month ahead, I'm like, hey, you could do something that could make all this month ahead stuff happen in a week, so that just tells you that you have the rest of the month to get used to this change. Which is kind of why I don't like doing prediction readings, because it kind of falls flat sometimes. Oh no, that actually is a type of reading. It's called cartomancy. I actually have a deck over here on my tarot table. It's different colors. And I was supposed to learn cartomancy, I just haven't gotten started yet. But you can read it similar to tarot. Clubs are wands, hearts are cups. Yeah, clubs are wands, spades are swords, and diamonds are pentacles. If you want to do it that way. But I think cartomancy has its own reading style as well. And it is intuitive, so if you're learning intuitive reading on your own through cartomancy, that's really cool. I applaud you. That was awesome. Okay. I will be getting back to tarot. I'm going to go ahead and get the next card going. But again, you're welcome to chat amongst yourselves about whatever you like about what we're doing or don't like what we're doing. Put this away. You ever just, like, your desk is cluttered and you don't think about it until you're doing something on your desk and you're like, I need to clean. Okay, let's go ahead. So the next card on this deck is the Queen of Wands. One of my favorite cards in the tarot. Because the Queen of Wands, and we're going to go back to that whole court card conversation. The wands are inspiration. They are creativity. They're a little bit sexuality, but we're not going to get into that. Everything we do is with passion, right? Everything we do is with tenacity. So think of the wands as your creative ability, as your passion. The Queen of Wands always has a cat with her, which they definitely included, but this cat has antenna, so it's an alien cat. I'm not really sure what's going on in the background here, if that's like her building where she lives, but the Queen is always confident in what she's doing. She's always creating with passion, but further than that, she is always setting strong boundaries. And that's kind of the other thing about wands that they don't tell you, is that the same passion you use to create is the same passion you use to create boundaries as well. We also have, the wands are like, also credibility. I think of the wands like not as necessarily any one thing, but just our, like, our ether, if you will, like our ability to manifest and create and make possibility. There's really not a lot to be said about the Queen of Wands other than she is a creator. If you want, we can go through the booklet, actually. Let's see what it says. Oh, I opened right to it. Isn't that great? The Queen cards of the tarot indicate an adult's mastery of and authority over a given situation, with an appropriate amount of attendant responsibility. The Queen of any given suit is always at rest and at peace. She has attained at long last a measure of poise and dignity. She is spiritually strong and has achieved great self-knowledge that attracts others to her and makes her popular in her community. The querent may be the self-same queen themselves, or the queen may be someone in their life. So it doesn't really tell you what the wands are doing in this aspect, because the court cards are not supposed to be telling you what the wands are. The wands are whatever creative energy or spiritual gift that you have. So whether you are an artist, a musician, a painter, if you write, this is telling you to create and to enjoy your creativity and to be confident in your creativity. And that's another reason why I like that card, because I like to create. I stream, I do tarot readings, that is creation. I write sometimes on Substack, but like, it's one of those things where like, you create with your power, but you don't over create. You don't garden for the sake of proving that you can garden, you know what I mean? So our next card is the Chariot. Okay, so the funny thing here is that the Chariot is also, just like the Queen of Wands, a Freya identifier if you work with deities. But if you don't, that's okay. I just find it funny that we got them 2 in a row. Okay, so Major Arcana number 7, the Todd Alcott editor. Wow, the unstoppable vessel. That's a good way to put it. The Chariot is constantly moving. How is that different from the Wheel of Fortune, though? How do you think the Chariot is different from the Wheel of Fortune? I'm curious what you think. I'm gonna go find the Chariot in this deck while I ask that question, because there is a little bit of like difficulty, I think, when you're first learning tarot. At least I had that difficulty when I was first learning tarot, how to separate between the Wheel of Fortune that's constantly moving and the Chariot, which is constantly moving. What do you think the differences are? This is the original Chariot. Yes. Yes. Are you sure you don't read tarot? Thank you for the hydrate reminder, and hello, Luna. Please also hydrate. Yes. Yes. So when you open this adorable little instruction book. Right? That looks so cool, doesn't it? Yeah. Yeah. Literally. So, in the Chariot, in the book for the Chariot, it says humans developed many ideas unique to their species, one of which was the notion of will. That is, the ability to make decisions based on whatever the human wanted to do in any given moment. In human society, the one with the strongest will often ruled over the others by force, hence the term force of will. It did not matter whether the decision being made was helpful or detrimental to society, or whether it was informed or impulsive. The force of the individual's will was everything. The chariot is a symbol of a is a of symbol this sort of force. Okay. A vehicle of great destructive power, perhaps used in warfare, perhaps in a more domestic city like an office, school, or family. The chariot, it should be noted, is a separate entity from its driver. We could say that the power of the chariot wholly depends on the skill of its driver. And I think, like, when we're talking about the knights in tarot as well, we have, like, the Knight of Wands, the Knight of Swords, the Knight of Cups, the Knight of Pentacles, we're also dealing with a sort of vehicle because they're on a horse. So we're having to think of it in terms of it's not just the willpower of what you choose to do with your respective vehicle, but the vehicle representing sort of your willpower to have that support, to be able to maintain what's necessary to include in that support. I hope the horror one is a vampire coffin car. Guess we're gonna have to see if I order it. Unironically, I feel attraction towards the chariot at the same level I feel Oh, you know what? That might be it. It might be the rejection of fate and the decision of what you're choosing to do with your own willpower. Hi, Elite Gamer. How are you? Welcome. We're doing like a tarot discussion. My Sci-fi Tarot came in yesterday. I'm like telling everybody about it. But yeah, like that's essentially what the difference between the chariot and the wheel is. It's the difference between choice and fate. I am awesome. I'm doing great. I'm glad to hear that you're doing good. So we're going to put that back. We're going to continue on. All right, what's next on our to-do list? The Nine of Cups. So the Nine of Cups in this deck is a little sexy. Just a heads up. It's not inappropriate for Twitch, but we might ooh and ah a little bit more than we expect to. The description says, Princess Absalom of planet Zorbex takes a relaxing dip in pure molten gold and thinks about her victory over the Knights of Kandaru. So the Nine of Cups is, let me get the Nine of Cups out from the original art so you guys can take a good look at that before I show you the art in this deck. Because the art in this deck, and yeah. I'm glad you're enjoying it, Okami. Thank you for being here. Thank you for saying that. I've always wanted to do tarot on streams. I've wanted to stream games, but having that kind of niche, you don't know what to expect. You don't know if people are gonna be okay with it or weird about it, or. But I think tarot is really cool, and I think more people should be talking about ways of understanding themselves better. I think that's always a fun thing. You don't necessarily need crystals or cards or even other types of divination to kind of understand a better way of understanding yourself. Sometimes it's just journaling or making art. I do also read other types of divination. Currently it's dice and runes, so that is in my name, Valkyrie Runes, for that reason. I've been reading runes since I was about 13 years old. I've been doing divination for a very long time, actually as long as I've been playing games. My first divination was runes, and my first game was Final Fantasy X. So it's nice to kind of bring that into streaming. But this is the original Nine of Cups. Very proud individual, very successful individual, very proud and successful. Yeah, runes are awesome. I would love to do a stream of just runes at one point. Kind of talk over some spreads and things like that. So the Nine of Cups, proud individual, lots of success. I feel like the cups are always going to be about our emotions and our capacity for those emotions. But in this way, I can kind of see him treating it as trophies. So good look at this. Love it. Love it so much. Okay, now we're going to show you the sci-fi version. Are you guys ready? Okay. Okay. We're going to sit with that for a second. This is not breaking the terms of service on Twitch, is it? Those are cups indeed. You're so right, Okami. You are so right. So, the Nine of Cups, very similarly, she's very proud of herself. Has the cups behind her. And those are 9. 4, and I'm not gonna lie to you, that last one's looking a little bit sus. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's looking a little sus. Anyways. Yeah, DC Starfire. Exactly. You get it. I can't look away from that now. I don't think it was supposed to be that way, but it's looking a little bit suspect. I'm not gonna lie to you. But we'll move on. I'm just like, I'm not the only one seeing that, right? Okay, so the Nine of Cups in the instruction book. Oh, dropped it. Yeah, the sus cup brings success. Yeah, all kinds of success, am I right? I mean, the thing about the Nine of Cups, it is about joy. It is about, like, the pride and joy we have of our success and, like, emotional pride. I think that, like, when we get, like, to the Ten of Cups, which is the last cup in the suit, and then you get to, like, the page, the knight, and the queen, and the king, you're dealing with, like, you get to enjoy your success by yourself. You get to enjoy it in a way that is crucial just for you. Oh, thank you for the streak. Oh, yay, streak. That's so cool. So you get to enjoy it on your own before you share it with others. That's kind of how I like to see the 9. So, 9 of Cups. Pride was an important emotion for humans. They needed to feel proud of themselves as much as they needed to feel happy or safe. A human without pride did not last long. The Nine of Cups encapsulates a specific kind of positive pride, as opposed to arrogance or smugness. It is this form of pride that made humans strong and confident and gave them the appearance of good health. See? What, do you not like to feel good? I think it's the original art, just, it feels more smug, and this one less smug. I don't think this one's as smug as the original art. It's very interesting, though. What cards your soul repels and which ones they don't. It's interesting. Alright, what's next? I think we're going to do a few more, and then I'll switch to 14. The 8 of Swords. You're a weird creature. It's okay. We're all a little weird. I think, like, if you enjoy my streams, you're not normal, and that's okay. We don't like normal here. I think normal is just a very, like, it just depends on the person. What's normal for you, not normal for me, but that's okay. Like, we can coexist. So the 8 of Swords. Let's look at the deck. Oh, really? You feel attracted to this card? Is it because the person's tied up? Because I also like the person tied up, and not for that reason. I like that people often look at this card as, well, why don't you tell me what you're attracted to in this card? Oh, no idea. Okay. So I'm going to tell you what I like about the 8 of Swords. The thing about the 8 of Swords is people generally see this card as a negative card. People genuinely and generally see this card negatively because in the imagery of the original Rider-Waite, the person is surrounded by swords, so they're trapped, but they're also tied up. Oh, see, even your bird likes the card. That's interesting. Interesting. Something about this 8 of Swords, huh? So, okay. So, the 8 of Swords, Before I look at the booklet, I'm just going to tell you the Eight of Swords is you are trapped in your own thoughts. Oh, it isn't. Okay. You're trapped in your own thoughts. But that doesn't necessarily have to be a negative thing. It doesn't have to be negative because this person is also tied up. Did this person do this to themselves? There's a chance that a part of them did have an influence on their choices in life, might have gotten to them to this point, but it might not have been to their knowing. Do you knowingly get yourself tied up? Do you knowingly get yourself trapped in a situation that you cannot remove yourself from? Not always. You're not always in that predicament on your own. That's something that just kind of ends up happening sometimes. And I think that people tend to look at this card like a self-blame rather than understanding that sometimes we cannot even play the cards we're dealt. Like we always say, like, oh, play the cards you're dealt. We don't even get that choice sometimes. Sometimes you're just given a bad hand and you have no choice but to fold. Like you're not always given a perfect circumstance. Let's look at what it says in the booklet. Okay. The Eight of Swords may represent the bitter ending of a thief who did not steal enough. See, the Seven of Swords was the previous card and was a thief. The card certainly suggests a punishment of some kind, most likely an exile. For humans were also known for ostracizing those whom they did not hate enough to kill. But this may also refer to a sort of mental banishment, perhaps of an unwelcome idea from the outside or an intrusive thought from within. So this isn't exile for the sake of necessarily always punishment. Sometimes you just need time alone to deal with your thoughts and recognize that your thoughts don't define you. We are going to be on an ad break very shortly, and I think I want to switch to games very soon because we've been talking about this for an hour and a half, and I kind of really want to play something. And then we'll probably end stream around 2, 3, maybe 3. We'll see how we feel. But thank you so much for sitting with the tarot. I don't mind talking about this deck some more on Monday, but we'll probably do some readings, and I'll probably go over some of my favorites in a bit. When we come back, I'll probably start 14. Yeah, the time's just, like, gone. It is Aries season, though, so I kind of expect time to just fly away. Exactly what you're saying, Okami. Like, that's exactly what this Eight of Swords is saying. Someone could have exiled themselves to keep a distance or feel too different and blame themselves for it. And that's kind of the point, is when you're getting this card in a reading, you're being asked not to exile yourself, but to understand what it is that you're exiling yourself for and why. And sometimes feeling different is kind of necessary. So this card is actually ruled by the sign Gemini, specifically the planet Jupiter. So if you have a Gemini Jupiter, this card will definitely be for you. But yeah, like I think with this, it can be like overstimulation, it can be dread, it can be it can be like your thoughts kind of catching up to you in a negative way. It can also be like your choices kind of catching up to you. Your choices get you in this spot. But overall, it's usually not for self-blame or self-pity. It's just understanding that sometimes we put ourselves in a bad spot because we think we have to be there. And we don't necessarily have to be there. The eight of Swords and the Nine of Swords are also punishing cards, but the Ten of Swords is where your punishment gets to you. And swords are always about the mental energy. They're always air signs energy. So when you see swords in a reading, it's just telling you to really check your thinking and your communication skills. But we will. You feel it like a positive? Oh, no, you didn't make it longer than... I really like talking about tarot, so if anything, you're keeping this conversation alive, so thank you. It is a positive in the sense that sometimes we do need time away, but I think, like, it's an understanding that you don't always have to stay in this place. You can find people that don't make you feel this way. You can find situations that don't make you feel like there's something wrong with who you are as a person. Unless you are actively trying to be different to a point where you are actively always separating yourself from a group, then I would say, like, why is that, though? Nothing wrong with it. It's never that it's just something wrong with it. It's just you do have to explore, why am I like this? why do I feel the need to constantly be separate from other people? So we're gonna take that ad break. Please feel free to stretch, drink water, do whatever you need to do to survive and be comfortable. I'm gonna take a quick break and refill my water. I'll be back and maybe we'll play some 14. Okay. Okay. Thank you. Welcome back. How was your break? Did you get any good ads? We're gonna do a couple more cards and we'll stop at around 2 p.m. PST. We'll play 14 for like an hour ish, and then we'll be done. I was only planning on streaming for a few hours, but people are here and it's really exciting, so more that like, oh yeah, we're getting through the conversation. You're fine. Like, we're not doing readings exactly, we're just kind of talking about the tarot, so it's fine. But if we're doing like straight up readings, then I would say like, let's hush up. But it's fine. I would rather engage in conversation on what the cards are than just like yapping about whatever. Alright, so we're back. I appreciate that. I'm part of a writing newsletter and I just got an email. How to get your book into ChatGPT sources. How about no? If you use AI and not your own brain, what's wrong with you? Anyways, let us continue, shall we? So, Ace of Swords. We talked about the aces being kind of like just presentations, right? What I like about the Ace of Swords here is that it's sideways. It's not really like supposed to be in the original art, but it's a gun. It's like an ad for the weapon that you're getting. I think that's really cool. An intellectual gift because of the technology. How about we don't? Yeah, like I was watching an old Queso stream from when he was playing Retro Rewind. Ooh, I could play that today. He was playing Retro Rewind, and he's like, what should we name the store? And there were people going, why don't you enter it into ChatGPT? And he's like, why would we do that? When we could use our own creativity. Why would we do that? And I'm just like, yeah, why would you? Why would you do that? We're going to just kind of quickly go through the rest of the cards because I don't know if I really want to spend the whole time talking about it. So we have the Ten of Pentacles here. It kind of looks like Time Magazine. Oh, yeah, it absolutely is. You're using water sources. You're killing off your own intellectual... Like, I've seen people use it instead of Google. I've seen people use it for their grocery list to get recipes. I'm like... Are you okay? Alright, so Ten of Pentacles looks like Time Magazine. Ten of Pentacles usually talks about, like, family and, like, sort of, like, the combination of, like, everything we've kind of, like, come to gain of our finances, our home life. I think that using, like, this eerie, like, everybody looks the same family stuff is really cool, but I also feel like it's kind of reminding me of Omega Mart. If you've ever been to Omega Mart in Vegas, it's exactly what it reminds me of. Very creepy, like cloned people and like aliens and stuff. We have the Seven of Cups. Seven of Cups is really cool too because in the original art, it literally is just like some of your cups are good things, some of your cups are bad things. It really is about a gamble of what you're choosing to focus your emotions on. But I think with the Seven of Cups, you're also understanding that it's not about what choices you're making. It's that everything in life is about a combination of good and bad, and it's not necessarily about one or the other. In the description here, it says 7 weird, wild, and wonderful illusions to dazzle and distract your mind. That's exactly what the Seven of Cups is about. So, again, this deck is really just calling to the original Rider-Waite in a lot of ways, but in its own special, like, sci-fi kind of way. The Eight of Pentacles is about our work and our routines. Like, I love it so much. And the Page of Wands, a new day dawns on the planet of the spirit. Exactly. The Strength card. The Strength card, it's for the monster lovers, but I think it's also a bit like understanding the struggle to tame the beast. It's really just about understanding that taming the beast doesn't mean that you are not strong or that it's a test of your strength. It's sometimes just understanding that our strength is in our ability to match with these experiences. The things that we are tested on, our strength is tested on, is not necessarily always a test of our reflexes, of our strength, but it's really understanding that we are on a journey of knowing that our strength is always going to be matched, not challenged because we need to be taken down a notch, but just understood better. Human strength as a power of force was measured in many ways. Athletic competitions were very popular. Events where individuals could show off their speed, power, and endurance, and popular athletes could become powerful and influential merely for having the ability to run fast or throw a ball. So literally just talking about your test of strength. But I think also, like, it's also about the ego that comes with that, because some people like to test their strength for ego reasons. So there are particular cards I want to show off before we get over to our games. Do I want to play Retro Rewind now? I'm kind of thinking about it. You know what? We'll see. We have the Emperor, which is one of my cards. The Six of Swords, interestingly enough, calls back to the Wheel of Fortune. It does not call back to the Wheel of Fortune in the original Rider-Waite, but what I find really interesting about that is that the Six of Swords is a few people on a boat kind of carrying their ideas with them, and they're coming into calmer waters. They're helping each other go towards calmer and more productive times. In this art, it says Vera Star flees Space Station X-15 in search for answers. And I kind of feel like it's talking about... Can we not with the noise? It's kind of talking about, you know, sometimes fate has us changing course. Sometimes fate has us moving towards different things that we don't necessarily expect to. Let's see. Three of Wands. Siri, shut the fuck up. What the hell's wrong with you? I wasn't talking to you. I was talking to the Twitch stream. God. She's always on about some shit, man. We have the Nine of Pentacles, which again is like luxury. It's a woman standing in a garden and an oasis of riches to sustain herself. Like, it's always calling back to the original Rider-Waite. But I think I'll just skip to the best ones, and we'll see from there. They're all really good cards, though. Like, I don't think there's a card in here I really hate. Like, Knight of Pentacles looks like those old Marvel comic books, right? Or even DC comic. Like, it looks like a classic comic book rather than a... you know what I'm saying? Like, it looks... It sure is swell, is what I'd call it. But it definitely calls back to the original Rider-Waite, because the Knight of Pentacles forges ahead. You know, he's making good intentions going forward. We also have the Page of Cups. The Knight of Wands. Very cool stuff. Four of Swords. Talks about rest. The respite chamber, deep in meditation, ready for combat. The Seven of Swords. He stole weapons from the invaders, but was it justice? And in this depiction, he has all 7 swords. In the original Rider-Waite, he only has 5 and is leaving behind 2. It's interesting, right? Four of Pentacles, right? Page of Pentacles has seen on TV. Welcome to the future. Develop your skills. Like, I find that there's a lot here that's calling back not only to the original Rider-Waite, but also paying respect to old sci-fi movies. The Sun. The Three of Cups. The Hanged Man. The Hermit. Eight of Cups. Four of Cups. I just... He don't see that shit coming. Have you checked your blind spot? Man's as heavy in his work and he's not paying attention to the window behind him. Which I do think does call back to the original Rider-Waite in its own way, because yes, you do need to check your blind spot. Yes, you do need to be aware of what's outside of you, emotionally speaking. But also sometimes it's okay to not care. It's okay to not be involved with any of it. But in this case, it's referring to it as if it is a danger to him to not be aware of it, and I don't necessarily agree with that. We have the Hierophant, the bringer of order and orthodoxy to the galaxy. True. Three of Pentacles, Two of Cups. So let's go ahead, and we're almost there. Almost there. Okay, so a couple of my favorites are right here. Two of Swords, the Empress. We're almost there. The Star. And Death. Death is here. What do we see in the Death card that we have not seen in the other cards? You've seen enough of the other cards to know consistently what's different, but I'm curious if you notice it. right away, or if it's something that we have to kind of explain. I mean, I'm going to explain it anyway, but I don't want to be like mansplaining it if it's pretty obvious, because I feel like it is. I'm just going to put it right here next to these other cards. I like the star, the woman of the cosmos, a journey into the realms of fertility and intuition. Yes. Yes. So, yes, the death card is a transition. The death card has to do with transitions, especially in terms of what we don't or what we understand of what's current and what transitions into what we don't understand. There are less colors. That's absolutely one of the things that I noticed, because also the depiction of it is a book. Everything that we have seen is movie poster or some sort of advertisement of new and the unknown. Death does not have the explanation. It doesn't have the explanation. It's a book, not a movie poster, not an advertisement. Anything else? It's okay if you can't think of anything else, because I have one more thing I'm going to point out about it if no one else does. Okay, so it's a book, not an advertisement for a movie, not an advertisement for something to buy. Everything that's been in this deck so far, every single card has been a story based in space. And in the death card, there's only people going into space. There are people, it's basically telling you the story of how we ended up here. How we ended up in space. How we ended up with these space-themed stories of humans. It's showing the death of our once believed story going into space. It's kind of like a history book of the death of what we used to know of humanity. It might even be implying that something happened to Earth that before we ended up in space. Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's like the story of the death of what we used to know. So you are on point for that, but I feel like it's a book telling, so it's already happened. And I think that for the concept of death, when you see it in a reading, is not really talking about a current transition. It's talking about something that has already died and has already transitioned over and that we have not yet accepted. It's both. It's both the beginning and the end. Because it's a recognition that when one door closes, another one opens. It's so the thing about death is it's ruled by the sign Scorpio, and Scorpio loves a rebirth. Very 8th house themes, very Pluto themes. We currently have Pluto in Aquarius, and that is very alien, very like space themed. So this is calling to this like Pluto and Aquarius sort of like we're seeing like death to how we understand humanity, but not literal death, but death is the transition of understanding that humanity has always been changing, though. There is no perma-death, no perma-end when you think about how things can change. It is the end of what we understand it, but not literal death. Literal death in tarot is very, like, it's very specific in certain spreads. I don't really think that you can exactly predict it, but I do think that when we're seeing death in tarot, it doesn't always, yeah. It's the dynamic of, like, the death of a relationship, for example, is conceptualized by you not talking to that person anymore. But truthfully, that doesn't mean the relationship has necessarily ended. In your mind, yes, it has, because you don't talk to that person anymore. You don't engage with that person anymore. You're not romantic, or it's not happening anymore. But the death is only in the state of an understanding. So death in tarot is always a transition of sorts. Okay, so we're gonna get to put this away. Did we have any favorites? Were there cards you were sad you didn't see, so I can maybe write them down and show them off next stream? Maybe we'll get them next stream. I don't know. We are streaming again on Monday. I will be doing our Monday messages with this deck. I will say one last thing with this deck. I love how easy it shuffles. It has some incredible card stock. Chef's kiss. This deck, 100s out of 10. Death is your favorite. I'm glad. I do really like the Two of Swords. It's a card I get a lot in my spreads, by the way. At the edge of the vast sea of space, she looked inward. Sometimes we don't know what to do with information, and we have to press on through internal reflection. And I think that's so cool. So that is it for now. We will get to more of the Sci-Fi Tarot on Monday, same time as always. But for now, I'd like to chat a bit longer, and maybe we'll play something. Maybe some 14. Death is your fate. I love that for you. I like that you stuck with that card, because I appreciate somebody who's consistent. Alright. I want to play a game. Do you want to play a game? Because I want to play a game. Your ascendant is Virgo? Interesting. Tell me more. I love Virgo risings. You know why? Because I'm a Pisces rising. That means we're twinning. I unfortunately do not have readings open at this time. However, I will be opening again at some point with mini astrology readings if you'd like to have a short and sweet understanding of your chart. A short and sweet one. I actually have to catch up on my readings too, so if you are waiting on a reading from me, don't worry, it's coming. Okay. Do I want 14 or do I want retro rewind? I kind of want retro rewind since we were just talking about retro gaming and retro things. You were just told that by a friend? Nothing more? So there is a website that I like to go on to look at astrology. If you know the details, obviously you know what day and year you were born. But if you do know the exact time you were born, so, and I'm not talking like, oh, I was born in the morning. If you know you're born at exactly 8:35, the specifics matter. That's just an example. And also the location of where you were born, very important because it's longitude, latitudes. So I was born at night. I know exactly when I was born. I know exactly where I was born, and that tells me that I'm a Pisces rising. Okay, you're here for my content regarding. I appreciate that. So what we're going to do is we're going to play 14, since I already said I wanted to play 14. I almost clicked the wrong launcher. If you know, you know. So we're going to go ahead and launch 14 in a second. Play that for about an hour, 2, maybe 3. I don't know how long I'm going to stream for. Maybe till I start getting hungry. Watch my stomach growls in like 20 minutes. But we're going to get into that in a second. Let me log in real quick. We're going to play on my Lalafell. I did have to move her, so if you did know I was on Sargatanas, now I'm no longer on Sargatanas. Because, what did you mean my password's incorrect, you fucking bitch? Sorry, I'm very offended by the lies this thing is telling me. That's my password. Carbonara? Sounds good. I want carbonara. I think I just want to eat. Like, even if I'm not hungry, I'm like, food. Food is good. As long as it's not shrimp, I should be fine. For some reason, when I eat shrimp, I get really bad allergies. And my skin gets really itchy. I've never been tested, but I feel like I might be allergic to, yep. Oh, you'll send me a picture? Thank you. I do believe we have, like, food. Yeah, we have a food pick section. I was like, do I have a food pick section? I don't remember. So, that's what happens when you don't pay attention to your own server sometimes. Alright, so we are switching to 14 in a second on my Lalafell. If you don't play 14, that's okay. We're still in a Realm Reborn, so there's nothing to really spoil. We also have an ad break in 5 minutes, so shame of shrimp. Yeah, please eat my shrimp for me. That sounds wrong, but please eat all the shrimp for me. Please eat the shrimp in my place. There, I said it better. Oh, you want to know what 14 is? It is, it has a free trial up to level 70, including Heaven's Word and Stormblood, I think. And if I'm not mistaken, you can't PvP on it, and if you don't know what PvP is, you're missing out. Oh, you're fine. So I have Discord, right here. Here you go. You left accidentally? How could you? I'm kidding. So we do have the ad break coming in 4 minutes, so we will go ahead and check that out very shortly. We'll switch over right now, but PvP is awesome. I was in the middle of my crafting stuff last night, and I was just like, man, this is a lot. Like, your quests to do, like, your level up quests, I was like, nah, that's fine. I don't need this right now, but whatever. Let's see. Oh, yeah, I've done that before. Yeah, you can craft on it, too. I use mods. Because, crafting's a bit of a headache for me, I'm not gonna lie. I have to do some quests. Oh, no. Just, switch over real quick. I know I was last playing World of Warcraft. Leave me alone. It is a good game. I think my only complaint with it right now is the fact that... Oh, fuck. What about the audio? Carbonara, thank you. Hold on, we are fixing some settings because I actually don't remember how to fix the setting. Oops. It's okay, we have the ad break coming, so I'll just do that while we're waiting for the ads to come and be ads. Settings. Audio. No, that's not it. Where the fuck was it? We're almost there. I'm working on it. So last time I played World of Warcraft, and I had to switch the audio settings for that. And I don't remember how I did that. So while we're in ads, I'll figure that out real quick. Because you want to be able to hear it. Maybe. Maybe you do. Maybe you don't. I don't know you like that. Can I hear it on my end? What broke? So remember how I had to switch the audio last time for World of Warcraft? I don't remember how to switch it back. I'm trying to remember how to fix that. This is one of those things where I can hear it very slightly on my end, but it doesn't mean you guys can hear it or will be able to hear it. But we're in ads, so let me figure that out. What broke? Everything. Everything broke. Okay. It's just that it's not showing on my end what's, here, let's switch it over. Let me know if you hear it. It's showing like it's not picking up anything is the thing. Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay. I think I know what I have to do. Oh, excuse me. Disgusting. I think also OBS had an update and is being a little bit of a finicky baby about it. Okay, let's do that real quick. Mm-hmm. What the fuck is it doing? Wavelength, what are you doing? Be so for real with me right now. What are you doing? Okay. We might have to just close stream and just not worry about it because I am not really sure I'll be able to fix it at this moment. Because it's a wavelength problem, and wavelength is kind of being a little bitch about it. Come on. Come on, guys. You suck. Okay. Oh, now it's showing it. That it's picking it up. Tell me if you can hear it. Well, you have to be switched to the game. Let's switch back to the game and see if you can hear it. Can we hear the game? Yes or no? It's showing on my end that it's picking it up, but I don't know how much of it you're hearing. No? Okay. Actually, no. Yeah, it's super quiet. Yeah, I have to keep it super quiet, unfortunately, because, let's do that. Casting something? You can hear it? Okay. Is it loud enough? Is it too loud? Is it louder than me? Is it good? Like, without blowing out anyone's eardrums? Because that's kind of my issue, is like, is it gonna blow out eardrums? It's good enough to you? Okay. Alright. That's crazy. Okay. Alright. We good? Okay. Wavelength. Always blame wavelength. Okay. We're gonna get the camera out of my way. Thanks for your patience. I don't know what the fuck was going on with that. I'm also gonna open the window again. It's hot today. The seagull's waiting for their prize. Yes. Okay. So I have a couple job quests that I need to do. I'm thinking of doing that for the rest of the stream. What do you guys think? I think that's a good idea. I think I need to get to a new thread. Oh, wrong button. Her book is as big as her head. I also need to level up my fishing. Is this not where we go for I've played this game before, I swear. Oh, it's in New Gridania now. Oh, right. It's with, what's her name's sister? What's her name? Like, I don't know who I'm talking about. Too Fast, Too Furious. All the specs. Somebody was crafting next to me. So, I did mention earlier that I had a bit of a rough week because of some things that were revealed to me and kind of made me put, like, some pieces together. And I'm not going to get too into it, but basically I had to move data centers just for my own comfort. Nothing wrong with that, you know, sometimes a fresh scenery is nice. But on the bright side, I now have a level boost, and if you are playing Final Fantasy XIV and you don't like the data center that you're on, it is free to move. It's free to move here. Can you believe that? It's free to move here. I didn't know that. But only to Dynamis. There are no, there's one on, I think it's Seraph on Dynamis. It's free, yeah. I was able to move here for free. It didn't cost me anything. So if you have any alts that you're like, you don't want to have them on that server, it's free to move them. And we'd love to have you over on Holy Car and Asses. Oh, I have to fight Titan? Oh. Well, I didn't realize I have to fight Titan, so, that's kind of an issue, because I don't think I've unlocked Titan yet. Oopsies. Alright, let's see. There's a level boost for... What? There's a boost for DPS right now? That's unheard of. But yeah, I don't have Titan unlocked yet, so I can't do my summoner quest yet. So I guess I'll do I think what I'll do is I'll switch to Paladin and maybe do some PvP. If anyone would like to join me on Holy Car and Asses, I will be in Gridania. And we can get some Holy Car and Asses in PvP. I think I have PvP unlocked. There is a guy driving his car all through the neighborhood at top speed. And it's pissing me off. It is actually pissing me off so bad because it's so loud. But his car's nice, so it's okay. So I'll just sit by the Aetheryte Plaza on Helicarnassus if you'd like to join me. I will be there. There's a Aura here. And another Lighterfell. And some person who's crafting a lot. So maybe I'll just stand somewhere else where he's not crafting, because that is a noise cluster. And I'll just... I don't want to rent the Chocobo, but I'll just talk to you. Alright. Why not? PvP the rest of the stream. I'm gonna get my hair tie, actually. I'll be right back. Yeah, I would love to keep the window shut so that you can't hear the car, but unfortunately it is hot as so many things I could say. But, yeah, make sure you have food. Oh, my inventory is... Oh, I need to do something about it. Don't look at it. Please don't look at it. Please don't, yeah, I don't, like, it's gonna just have to be loud. It's just gonna have to be loud. Oh my god, my inventory, don't look at it. And while we're waiting, I'll have her eat pizza. But seriously, where's her eat pizza even? Hi! Yeah. Eat pizza. Frickin' love that. I'm gonna move this up here. Slap you. Well, hello there! Oh my god, can I not? There we go. Welcome to Holy Car and Asses. Oh, people are home. Oh, fuck. Okay. Let's, yeah. Where's the ready check? Ready check? Yeah. Awesome. I'm still kind of getting used to controller with some things, I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes it's a little bit of a gamble, but I do really, really like it. So let's go ahead and queue for PvP. "30 minutes?" I'm in shock. No, I don't think it's for real right now. I think it's really saying 30 minutes for front lines. Oh my god. Well, welcome to Dynamis, where we have 30-minute queue times on front lines. Yay! It's never been more than 10 minutes for me. Like, sometimes it'll say average wait time is 5 minutes, but then, like, you're only waiting, like at most 10. And I'm just like, are we for real right now? Are we for real right now? That's insane. It's okay. I'm sure it'll go real quick. Which, all this means is that by the time we queue in, we'll do our PvP match and then stream's over. That's pretty much what that means. My goodness. My goodness. That's insanity. That's crazy to me. Yeah, I'm curious too, because I'm not gonna lie, I don't think I've done PvP in Holocaust, so, or on Dynamis at all, so I'm just very curious, and also confused. Why is it 30 minutes? If it goes over 30 minutes, what should we do? If it goes over, what do we do? I'm gonna just look at people's glams. Look at this pretty lizard boy. Oh, yeah. I haven't done PvP on any server other than the ones in North America, so I actually really want to see the other servers. Look how cute your house is. Also, I just realized, Elsie, you look like a Valkyrie, and I love that. You like chatting? That's fine. Chat away. Like, seriously, what is it with this queue time? It's crazy to me. You know how much we could get done in 30 minutes? We could have queued for something else. Could have done our leveling roulettes and still had time for PvP. So, yeah, so I think today was a pretty good stream because, I mean, it was impromptu. I did say we were going to do impromptu streams here and there when I had the chance to. I can only consistently stream Mondays, Tuesdays right now, but I think Fridays and Saturdays are good times to have, like, if we're up for it, if we have the time and energy, we'll do, like, body doubling or just talking about tarot or just using that time to just chill and hang out. Infinite 30 minutes. I think so. I think it's gonna be a hell of a time waiting for PvP, actually. While I'm waiting, I'm gonna go ahead and check the Discord for that carbonara, because I am curious. Ooh. That looks delicious. Thank you for sharing. That looks awesome. I'm probably gonna eat after stream. I'm not hungry yet, but I have a feeling I will be after stream. I have a pretty good feeling I will be. Especially with a 30-minute wait. Thank you. Did I say that's crazy yet? Because that's insane. That's actually insane. How does that end up happening? Ever since I moved to holokinesis, I have been strictly calling it holy car and asses, and I don't think there's another name for it now. There can't possibly be a better name for it. It is now officially holy car and asses. Hell yeah. I love any sort of, like, community, like, let's share, like, things that we like, share things that make us happy, because I think there's a lot of unhappy things in the world, and it's good for us to find community with people who know how to be happy and know how to bring happiness to each other in a way that's healthy and mindful of other people. I don't want to be in community with people who are making other people unhappy, you know what I mean? I mean, like, I'm not gonna sit here and say I'm perfect. Like, I think everybody is a villain in someone else's story at some point, but I also think sometimes we villainize ourselves unnecessarily. Holy car and asses, man. This is crazy. Thank you for waiting for the queue times with me, you two, because holy shit. I'm gonna pull some cards on this. Because what the fuck? Perfect time to use my tarot deck is to ask about a game. Actually, let's ask. Yeah. We're all in the same boat, yeah. Tell me about our PvP match. Whoa. The Ten of Cups, the Hierophant, and the Empress came out, but so did the Ten of Wands. So I feel like it's gonna be stressful because of the weight, but it's gonna be a good match. Right? That's what it's saying. It's gonna be a better match than the wait feels like it'll be. It's like waiting in line at Disney. You know, you hate the line, you hate the wait. I don't like the lines, I don't like the wait, but then you get on the ride and you forget that you waited that long for the ride to take part. We have an ad in 5 minutes. So we'll be taking an ad break shortly, but don't worry. We're probably still gonna be in the queue when you get back from the ads. So feel free to stretch, hydrate, get a snack, do some self-care. We'll still be here. Goodness. Interesting. Get the Hierophant and the Empress again. I think it's telling me good job. Alright, let's put that away. What'd you guys think of the tarot deck, though? Isn't that awesome? Right? It is definitely a vibe. What'd you guys think of it? The deck is fucking cool, though. Like, I think this is gonna be my favorite deck for all readings going forward. So expect to see it a lot. I know, it's great. I'm so curious how Monday messages are gonna go, too. Alright, so we have that ad break. I will be right back, and then we'll come back and see how we are in the queue. Welcome back. We switched data center servers because that wait time is abysmal. We switched to Primalonia because it's 5 minutes instead of 30. Also, thank you for the welcome back, and thank you, Elsie, for the resub. Enjoy your continued use of emotes. Hell yeah. Yeah, I think like there's still a wait time on Primal, but not as bad as the 30 minutes we had over there, which just means that if we do end up streaming all of our Lalafels doing PvP more, we'll just have to make the move over. But I will know that for future streams because I will be streaming this Lala more often at some point when I have my schedule a bit better down, because right now it's Mondays are Final Fantasy X until I finish Final Fantasy X and then move on to something else, and then whatever else I move on to will be Monday streams, and then when I get to my Tuesday streams is a try a new game. And obviously I can't try a game I've been playing for multiple years, so I mean I could pretend I don't know this game. I could try a new class on it, but that's different. I can do a Lala party at some point, why not? Okay. Oh, this map. Interesting. Alright, we are going to play... I'll do Bard. Bard's a lot of fun in PvP. Do this mount. Is this mount adorable for a Lalafell? I can go up here? Oh, okay, never mind. Okay. Hopefully, no problems. Okay. I don't remember this map at all. I've been playing the one, the Dawn Trail one a lot, and I've been playing, like, the ice one. So usually when I queue PvP, I get those maps, not this one. So I'm, like, not accustomed to it anymore. I'm like, how do I get out? Is there a blue guy right there? There was. While they're fighting over there, I think... Okay, you know what, we'll just go. People leaving? Okay, I guess we're not going with this. Also, it's really dark recently. I'm confused. What are we doing? Okay, we're going this way, I guess. That's what it looks like we're doing. Again, no cohesive strategy, just people doing with it. Oh shit. That guy died. Hella died. I don't play to be good at it, I play to... Also, we are not ahead. Oh, Jesus. What are we doing? What are we doing? Well, whatever it is, we did it. I have no idea what we were doing there, but we did it, and it's done. So, it's fine. It's fine. Whatever. Run away! Let's go. I think the fact that we haven't done this map in a really long time, I haven't been doing this map that much, so I'm like, I fully expect to not be good at it, but it's like, just not used to it anymore. It happens. Why are you guys going in on the samurai? It's dangerous. Yeah. Bitch. It's like no line of sight of the target. I can see him, he's right there. Oh, somebody has the new mount from the variant dungeons. That's cool. I don't particularly care for that mount, but you know what? That just means you were dedicated and you have been just doing nothing but the the treasure dungeon. You know, it's... Or not, you know. We did not defend that because red is completely taking it over. Oh goodness. by much because blue is ahead of us. I also can't believe my stream reset. According to Twitch, it reset. I'm just like, alright, cool, whatever. It's fine. Let's go. Okay. Oh, there's red. Oh my goodness. That's crazy. So I leveled up at least. We did good. I think for all intents and purposes, the fact that I did not remember that map at all just goes to show you that I did better than I could have. Okay, so I leveled up. It is... where are we? It reset my stream time because unfortunately Twitch decided to reset my stream. So I actually don't know how long I've been streaming now. But I did level up, so that's a positive. That's so weird that it just did that. But anyways, I think that was a good go. We could do leveling roulettes. I think I have a little bit of time to do leveling roulettes, but we could also just end right here. I'm fine with either. If you guys have time to do leveling roulettes, we can do it. If you don't, that's also okay, because I could go a little bit longer, but I'm fine with just yapping. Either. I think I could do leveling roulette or two, or just one, because it only gives you a bonus for the one. So I'm gonna do that. Oh, a bonus for healer? How good am I at healing? Wow, look how much my paladin jumped up. Holy shit. Okay, so I am actually gonna queue as a dragoon. Yeah. Wait. We can't all be DPS, what are we? Oh, thank you, Pisces, for taking one for the team. I'm just like, do I want to risk our lives by being a healer? Because I could, but nobody wants that. I promise you no one does. Make sure you eat your food. I will do a ready check now. We can't all be DPS. Let's see. Okay. Okay. 5 minutes, that's great. Why is it showing my thing is off center? What the fuck? Okay. I think it's because I reset it earlier. We're just full of scuff today, aren't we? Oh, hi, Luna. I didn't see you there. Nice to have you. And after this, we will be ending stream. I'm not entirely sure why it kicked me, and I have 2 different streams. What the hell's up with that? I mean, what's important is we got all the tarot stuff done and out of the way before that happened. It'd have been really freaking annoying if it like, you know? You know? Oh, I'm glad. I'm glad. Glad it was a nice change of pace. I think what I liked about it is the fact that I did want to do more like random streams that weren't just on the schedule, but I would also like to bring back doing Saturday streams when I can. It just won't always be early in the day. It'll probably be more often morning or evenings rather. Hello. Another Halatali run. That's kind of funny, actually. Yeah, it's a really, like, weird dungeon, because, like, you can get easily lost. I always do. And a lot of time I also forget to turn on the winches when they show up. Up. You know what? It's fine. It's my fault. I can take it. I got it. We're good. Me just like YOLO. I'm sorry. YOLO. Just go ham. It's fine. I always complain about people who pull aggro without the tank, and then I became the problem. incredible. Amazing. I do have an ad break coming in like 5 minutes, but I think we'll still be in the dungeon by then, so feel free to stretch, hydrate, do what you need to do. I will still be here in the dungeon, and we'll probably end stream close to after that. I'm not sure how much longer we're gonna go. That was some lag. Did y'all see that? The fuck? Target's not in range for a ranged attack is insane to me, actually. Like, what do you mean it's not in range? It's a ranged attack. Like, I understand that things have to be within that range and all that, but it is a ranged attack. Makes no sense. It makes no sense to me, okay? It just doesn't. I'm gonna agree. Oh! Okay, never mind. I have one of those. Pass. I forgot I had one already. It's just my rogue is like level 12. So she can't use it yet. What do you mean it's out of range? take Gunburger. Gunburger. Delicious. I love that it still pops up with the cutscene, even if you've already seen it. Like, I have cutscenes turned off, obviously, because I've already seen it. Even on ults, I'll turn off cutscenes if I've already seen it once, because once I see it, I'm not going to really want to see it again. Should I have waited to the end? Probably. It's fine though. When you do it with, like, duty support, they always do it whenever they want. You can have, like, a small group of enemies, and the NPC Lancer will just start limit breaking like nobody's business. She is grunting. Yeah. Ugh. All this crap. I don't want any of it. Never mind. Thank you guys so much for your help. I do believe that is the end of stream. It is such a pleasure to have you both. Thank you all for being here. Thank you for helping me with that. That was fast as heck. Oh, we're still in the ad break, so I'll wait a little bit before we officially end. Okay, so we are back. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for hanging out on our impromptu stream. Thanks for hanging out. You're free to join my server. That is how you know when I'm streaming. There is a schedule in the Discord, but sometimes, as obvious by today, I stream when I want, sometimes when I have the energy and capacity to. Thank you for being here, and also, my readings are not open, but I do have a Ko-fi that I want to make sure people know about, just in case I do open for readings again. When I open for readings again, you will know about it if you follow my Ko-fi. Thank you so much for being here. I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend. I will see you all back on Monday, 10 a.m. PST, as usual, and we will hang out, we will do our weekly readings, and we will play Final Fantasy X if The event is out in 14 on that day. We might do a little detour and do that on stream as well. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. Thank you so much to my one mod for checking in and being here for my impromptu stream. And I hope you have a wonderful weekend, all of you. Much love. Take care of yourselves. Bye-bye. See you Monday. Bye.